ArmA players, what's going on? So today we're going to do a bullet penetration test on some medium and light skinned vehicles in the game. Now I've got 3 vehicles lined up for the Russians and 3 vehicles lined up for the NATO side. We are starting it out with the G28. Now what we want to see is damage to the engine block so we can deny that vehicle from moving. And we'll see which sniper rifle actually comes out on top. So we're starting with the G28, 7.62. And we'll see if we can actually knock out one of the Russian vehicles. And we're just going to pick this vehicle to start with. So we're going to fire 2 rounds into the engine block and see what happens. There's the 2 rounds. Right. Let's quickly jump into admin. Jump into that vehicle. Hopefully we should be seeing some sort of damage to the engine, but I'm not too sure from this distance. Now we are only shooting at 500 meters, so I'll be surprised if we don't see anything at all. And I am not actually seeing any damage. Yeah, so no damage, and the vehicle seems to be working fine. Was not expecting that. I thought 7.62 in the game would have actually pierced the engine block quite well, and I mean we did hit it fairly decently. We'll try straight on. We'll see what happens with this. I mean one of them was straight through the grill, so this has got to be it. Yeah, there we go. So straight through the grill, we actually did knock out the engine. You can see it at the bottom left there as red. So you have to be very, very accurate with the G28, and you want to be aiming for the grill just here. So not above, directly on, so it should pierce that grill and go straight through. Pretty impressed with that. And what we'll do on the same notion, we'll just do straight on from here as well. We'll fire 2 rounds into here. Let's see, I mean this is a lot more armoured. It's more of a medium skinned vehicle. It'll be interesting to see if there's any damage in this. And obviously, yeah, there isn't. So, yeah, for light skinned vehicles, as long as you are hitting that grill, you're going to be able to knock it out and make it essentially unable to move. And from there, you can ambush the enemy. So, yeah, G28, not too bad, but as good as I expected, especially being 7.62. Right, let's get back up onto the hilltop and move on to the M40. Alright, so the M40. Now, most of you know this is my favourite sniper rifle in the game. Really do enjoy using this. And I've respawned a new vehicle. And we will try it out. So, do you think it will penetrate or not? Bear in mind, it is the same caliber. It's still 7.62, just like the G28. Here we go. We'll do 2 rounds. We'll do the exact same comparison. Alright, let's admin down and see if it penetrated. Alright, so I'm in the vehicle, and as you can see, there are no warning signs for an engine block being red. So we'll jump out and we'll see if shooting it through the grill will actually do it. Here we go. 1 round, as you can see, straight through that grill. Did it destroy the engine block? Still no. Oh wow. So maybe it is 2 rounds, or maybe it's 4 rounds through that engine block. I mean, we are pretty much point blank. And still nothing. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the M200 intervention. Now, I do expect this thing to knock out all of those vehicles. Now, the medium skin vehicles may take a few more rounds, but theoretically it should be knocking out the engine block. Now, I have skipped the Mark 14, the EBR, just purely because I see that as more of a sharpshooter rifle than a dedicated sniper rifle. And I wouldn't want to engage vehicles with that if I had the opportunity to use something like this. So let's give it a try, and what we're going to do is hit the Humvee. Here we go. Will it knock out a Humvee? We'll fire a second round as well. Okay, that's 2 rounds. Now, they look like big splashes, but let's jump down there and see what happens. Alright, here we go. Did it knock it out? Let's have a look. I believe by the sounds it could have done, yeah? Yep, bottom left, you can see the red engine block. So, the intervention will knock out the engine block. We don't know if it did it in the first or it was the second round, but at least we know at a little bit of distance we will be knocking out that engine and denying the vehicle. We can also assume, or it's safe to assume, that because it happened to the Humvee, it's also going to happen to the Russian vehicle as well, the UAZ. So what we're going to do is move it up and start targeting these more medium-skinned vehicles. Alright, so this is the big test. Here we go. The Russian medium-skinned vehicle. Will it knock out the engine block? What do you think? I'm going for should do, but probably not. That's our first shot. We'll send a second one straight into that grill as well. Right, it's time to jump down. In fact, one thing we are going to do. Before I jump down, I'm going to fire 1 round at the Russian transport vehicle to see if it will knock out this engine. Now, it is side on, so this will be interesting. Okay, let's jump down. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a round right in that grill. Really good shot, and then we hit from above as well. But did we knock its engine out? And it doesn't look like we did. That's interesting. Okay. So what about a direct shot into this engine? We'll fire 1 more as well. There we go. 2 clean hits. Did we knock the vehicle out? Alright, so it's got an orange, so it is partially damaged. Well, that is good to see. Obviously, with something like this, you want to move more square on. But you can knock it out. It's just going to take probably around 3 to 4 accurate shots through that grill. Now, let's have a look at the Russian transport vehicle. Now, it should have knocked this out. I'd be very surprised if it hasn't. So, it's actually oranged it. Alright, so you're looking at around 2 shots from the intervention into something like this to knock out the engine block. However, direct, probably going to be 1 round. Let's jump up and look at some of the Russian snipers. Alright, so first up, we have got the Zenit or the Dragunov. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to penetrate the Humvee. We will see. It is 7.62, so theoretically it should do. I think it would take a couple of rounds. One good thing with this, similar to the G28, semi-automatic. Now let's send a few rounds downrange and see what happens. Right, so that's 2 rounds into the Humvee. Let's jump down. Now bear in mind, I did respawn a fresh Humvee, so this will be interesting to see. No damage at all. Okay, so that was 2 rounds. Let's have a look at the impacts. Can't really see him, but we did see the splash. So we will do the same thing. We'll fire 2 rounds into the grill. Here we go. 1, 2. Now that should have knocked out this vehicle. I'll be very, very surprised if it hasn't. Oh wow, okay. So it's actually only taken it to partial damage. Try another one. 1 more. I mean, that is so close. The velocity drop-off shouldn't be there. Oh, wow. Still orange. That's crazy. The G28 did it in, what, 2? Maybe 3? Still orange. Alright, I'm going to send 2 into it. It's got to be it. That has to be the vehicle destroyed. And it's not. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there because we know that we fired 2 rounds on top plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're looking at least 8 plus to knock out a soft skin vehicle with the Zenit or the Dragunov. That's pretty wild. Alright, let's jump back up and move on to our next sniper. Alright, so we've got the DVL. Now, this is more of a close range shot sniper. I say close to medium range. I wouldn't want to be trying to drop people at bigger distances, but we'll see if this can actually do any damage to the vehicles down below. Now, it's not the best sight. I'm not a fan of Russian sights. Sorry to say it, but I'm just not. And we're going to actually fire at the transport vehicle. We'll fire a couple of rounds. It's in a good clean impact there. And the second one, and we'll jump down. Alright, so let's have a look. This command vehicle, if we can. Just let us in. There we are. And yet, no damage. No damage at all. That's pretty crazy. That really is pretty crazy. Let's fire a couple of rounds into the actual grill. Alright, so we are getting a bit of smoke now. So this must be damaged. Yes, yellow damage. So I feel a bit... I'm actually quite shocked by that, because the G28 took a couple of rounds into the grill to deny the vehicle, to destroy the engine. Whereas the Russian 7.62 doesn't seem to be actually doing much to these vehicles. Now, obviously, it is ammunition dependent. Now, I assume it should be that if you're using AP ammo, you should get more damage out of it. Now, I'm just picking these up out of the arsenal, so I can't confirm if they are starting with AP ammo. Now, we know the intervention is on the Russian team as well, so obviously they do have that same sort of damage profile. Okay, so what we're going to do is, for our last little bit, is engage the MRAP style vehicle from the NATO team. And we'll see if from this distance we can actually deny this vehicle. It's one hit. 2 hits. We're going to send 4 rounds. I'm going to send 4 rounds. Which you probably would get time from this sort of distance to get that many rounds off if you hit accurate. Now that is 4 rounds. That should be that vehicle denied, he says, but we will see. Now that's 2 grill hits, and obviously we're hit twice on top as well. And yep, the engine block is red. Now it could have been less rounds than that, however this vehicle is now out of action. So obviously you want to play around with what rounds you use. This one's got AP straight away, and it is designed to be knocking out vehicles like this and sort of denying enemy movement. But make sure, if you are going to try this sort of stuff, there's no other way of saying it, you're going to have to use the intervention. If you want to stop vehicles and stop their logistics or road moves, you need to be using the intervention. And it's the same for like helos, all that other sort of good stuff. You'll be able to knock out a rotary blade or rotary system with the 200. I've done it on a live game, and it is a very good bit of kit. But if you're starting to use the G28 on the Zenit, the Dragunov, you're not going to be able to knock these vehicles out straight away. It's going to take a few good, accurate rounds. Whereas something like this, you can probably do it in 2. However, there you go. Quick bullet penetration test on some vehicles. If you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful to give you a bit of information, let me know in the comments, and we'll do more stuff like this, because I'd like to actually do more tests to give you guys the information that you need to the best standard in a game. Alright, so thanks for watching. Remember, hit that sub, and I will see you in the next video.